The editorial passage of Hindustan Times with the speed of 100 and above per minute. So let's start दोस्तों. The Hindustan Times 5G auction, the key take away. Consumers can now hope to enjoy faster internet with greater possibilities and fewer disruptions. The 5G spectrum auctions concluded on Monday after a week and 40 rounds ranging around rupees 1.5 lakh crore for the government. There were only 4 bidders for the spectrum: Reliance, Jio, Airtel, Vodafone, Idea and Adani. The government recently announced a rupees 1.64 lakh crore revival package for the state-owned BSNL, which includes 4G spectrum, and it is likely that at some point in the future another package that includes 5G will be made available to the company. That means India will have 5G players. 5 clear interference can be drawn from the auction. 1. The reserve prices set for the auction may have been too high, full stop, while 71% by volume of the spectrum on offer was snapped up. The government realized only 35% of the reserve prices, rupees 4.3 lakh crores, indicating a clear performance for lower value 5G spectrum among most telcos. Still, the amount raised is more than the government expected from this auction. Stop. To Reliance Jio, the only telco to buy spectrum in the expensive but also critical for high-end 5G services. 700 megahertz spectrum paid the most, rupees 88.078 crores in the auctions, will likely be the only telco with a significant play across both the retail and enterprises sections of the market. Apart from focusing on value-added services such as telemedicine and online education, and over time on emerging metaverse applications. The focus on 700 megahertz is also a clear sign that Jio will have more stand-alone 5G networks than the other telco, which will overlay their 5G networks strategically atop their 4G one. 3. Airtel bid smartly. It spent a little less than half of what Reliance did, bracket close, to remain competitive. It bought almost 80% of the volumes of spectrum Jio did, but none in the 700 megahertz band, although it is unlikely to have as much of value-added play as Jio will. Stop. 4. Vodafone Idea bought a fourth of the spectrum that Jio got, but spent only around 20% of what the latter did, a clear indication that the company is still interested in the space, even if only to keep itself attractive for an eventual buyer stop. And 5. Adani was the surprise bidder, although it bought just 400 megahertz of spectrum, spending rupees 212 crores. Stop. This could be for internal enterprise use, as the company has said the band in which it has bought spectrum cannot be used for public networks, although the group's entry into the telecom space has set tongues wagging about a possible acquisition play in the future. Full stop. Thank you दोस्तों. Thank you very much.